welcome to our corporate video idea. The sort of brief outline which we're going for is we really wanted to really represent the facilities and students. Really want to, within each department, wanted to showcase what each course has to offer. We also want to sort of higher education as well as looking at facilities and also where the money goes from the college, which they put it in, where to go, what's it used for, and what funds what. The sort of structure which we're going for is like firstly we have the title, and then we move on to like an established shot of the college. Sort of time lapse to show that sort of like a journey sort of feel to it, and then we're going to show like information that comes up about the college just as an opening to it. And then we're going to move on to, when we come to the interviews, we're going to use direct address to the camera to show it on eye level, to show that, this is what, to really engage the audience in, to show that, this is the course, this is what we're offering in the course, this is, how it helps you in the future, this is what leads on from it. And we're also, with the students as well, we'll also be looking at, them in the work environment. Not only as what they have to say, but also as in how they're using their techniques and their skills learned within the creative arts, as it's quite wide, industry out there. But we will be jumping between shots of the interview with the lecturers and the students.
Hopefully not necessarily interviews, but more like little vox pops, just like little quick opinions, not big long interviews like we're going to have with the lecturers, just so we get the student interaction in there. And so obviously if students see it and use it to come, they know what other students are thinking about the college. And so yeah, that will just be not as in-depth as the lecturer interviews.
To make it really creative as well, we're also going to be using like cover shots of students using the facilities, of lecturers teaching the students, of performances, of real in the classroom sort of atmosphere.
And hopefully when it comes to things like that, obviously the college does reverb as quite a big thing through Stratcast, and so hopefully get some shots in of reverb itself, and because that's going on to TV now through Big Centre, I think it is, and so just to show that we actually can do professional grade work, and that's what we do at the college. We do high level professional work.
Well, we don't want to use like static, just stable shots. We also want to show, it as through journey, as panning, and tilt, slow panning and tilt, to show, it's kind of a journey going through each process.
So this is just sort of an outline. It's sort of a little bit of what we talked about before, but just like an outline of the sort of techniques that we want to use within it.
Key features within. So we'll be using cutaway, panning, statistics and facts shown on the screen as well. We don't want to bore the audience with, or coming up every single shot, statistics, but we will also be using names as introducing, for example, Lee Skinner, media department, really introducing each lecturer.
And a lot of these ideas, partly they came from our research mostly, and
from researching other videos.
Yeah, we researched a lot of other corporate videos.
To our own video, so.
We looked at, is it ad here? No.
Raz Studios,
Raz Studios,
which is a dance studio down in London, I think. And we just had a look through their corporate video, and we looked through
higher education. We also looked at their corporate video and how they really put the message across. Because when I was watching it as a media student, I was really engaged to it, because the way that they use the facilities and say like, this is what we like Best Goldsmith, this is what comes on from our course, this is what leads on from it.
And of course we sent out some interviews to lecturers as well. Or questionnaires rather, just get some of their opinions, and of course they've gone into this as well.
So the basic normal structure is, like I said earlier with the title, this is like a storyboard, a photography storyboard of how, sort of idea what we're going for. So, first we have the title, or the, introducing the department, and then they're going to the beginning we have like established shots, and then information, and then we go introducing the department, interview with the lecturer, then students in the sort of environments, and then interviews with students after. And
this at the moment is still in quite a rough, sort of copy. This is just like an idea of the sort of things we want to put across when we're making it. Yeah.
It's just to visualise what we have as a vision for the video. So.
So So the sort of target audience which we're going for is, we're going for people looking at the college, looking at the creative arts, looking at as well as potential students, potential lecturers, people who are interested in the creative arts industry and what each department has to offer. So that's our sort of age going up to
Of course, using that as our focus, focusing on lecturers as well as students, we want to get a good level between sort of quite a serious video, that conveys the information we wanted to, but also entertaining and engaging enough for students actually to see it and continue watching, which is sort of part of the reason why we put these student box plots in. Because if you're a potential student, I think they'd be a lot more interested to see what other students think of the college, as opposed to what actual lecturers think. And that's the more information we got from our questionnaires that we gave out. This is just a brief of our research results. It's not, I don't know if you'd be massively, interested in it. It's sort of going over the stuff we've talked about before.
When we conduct our questionnaire, we ask questions about what each course is, what sort of values they have within, what students are would really contribute towards.
And we asked them what's the most engaging thing about your course, what do you think needs to be shown off about your course, and of course we did that as well to the lecturers. What do they want to see? Because we've got a lot of good equipment here at Stratford College, and we've sort of got too much to pack it all in. Because if we pack it all in, it might become a bit overdone and not look how we want it, not look any good. And so of course we want to get everything that's
As it's for the students and for potential students and lecturers, we really wanted to find out from them themselves, from the actual students and lecturers, to really put across the message to say this is what the creative arts is, this is how we're going to portray, this is what they want to see, this is how which really will engage the audience and potential people.
These are closing conventions, basically, of your general corporate video towards students. So again, this is sort of re-going over what I mentioned earlier, or what we mentioned earlier, about watching over.
Features,
Yeah.
Because when we looked at the different corporate videos, a lot of them that came up with sort of the interviews, the panning shots, we really wanted to incorporate within. The next bit which we looked at was
the sound and music. We're possibly going to use a college band, and go to the music department and see what type of music we can get for our video. Because that, again, if we use that, then it's promoting the college really.
As it's it's a it's part of Stratford College. We also want to use the bands and the musical talent within Stratford, because it's also one of the creative arts department. So showcased through the music, as well as through each department. As we introduce each department, there's always going to be different sounds that's going to go with it. So there's not going to be one single sound going without, because if you look at a film, it's not only just one sound going throughout the film. There's multiple different types of sounds going inside. So that's what we're really looking on as well.
But we can't really decide what type of music we can use yet, because we need to kind of have a visual structure of the video before, because it could not totally go.
If we select the music, then it might then we would have to work around that music, and we don't want to have to work around the music. We want the music to work around us.
Yeah. So use multiple music, mix them together hopefully. And also it's got to be royalty free, because it's going up on the website. So.
Yeah. And one final point before we finish off is when we were saying about the students, we're also planning on trying to get in touch with some students who have gone on into professional careers from the college. So as another thing, this college does lead to professional work. You can go straight into professional careers from being at the college, and I think that's very important for a lot of students, especially at the moment with jobs being what they are. I think it's a very, very important thing to consider when you are applying for a college.
So that really conducts our sort of idea for the corporate video. I don't know if you have any questions.
Yeah.
I put down that you just answered the question about alumni and whether they were going to feature on the video.
Yeah, we got some names from lecturers of students, and so we're going to try and hopefully get into contact with them and talk to them about coming in for a vox pop for an interview or something like
that. The only other question I had about was, obviously certain prospective students that are coming to the college want to know often what the staff's kind of backgrounds are as well, and I wondered whether that would feature in your section to do with lecturers.
We hadn't considered that, but I think we could work that in through the interviews, and I think it would definitely be a big, yeah, we can.
We can definitely incorporate within the
Yeah,
whole
that can be,
community, so.
can be put in through our interviews with lecturers or through other means. Yeah.
Is there any other kind of improvements?
I think that's particularly, I think you might be thinking of different questions for different areas, because although we're creative arts, we're very different, and so it might be that performing arts they do come and ask us, and they do come and say, what was your background, where did you come from? It might not be as needy within an photography or an art design, but that might be just a question that you perhaps need to use and go through a little bit more. One thing I would say is perhaps have a wander around on open evening, and I don't know what your timescale of this is and when it needs to be in, but particularly with those questions of what people are wanting to know and what they're asking. If you were hovering in all sorts of different areas and departments, then you could pick up some of those key questions that they're asking that might want to interject in some of this. Colour palette. Do you have a colour palette?
We do not have a set colour palette at the moment.
Okay.
It's not really one of the things that we've considered at this point in time.
Okay. Can I just ask you to really consider the colour palette?
Definitely.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than looking at a prospectus particularly, and this is what I'm talking about in the past, that has music and it has pink as the theme of it. It really needs, and dance to have pink, not necessarily kind of preconceived ideas of what it should be. So I really feel personally, from my opinion, is that colour and what you're adding in, particularly the way that you're looking at music and how music has an influence on what you're doing. I think the colour of whatever your background or foreground or text coming across actually has an impact on what you're doing as well.
No, definitely, we'll definitely take that into consideration when we're doing it.
I think the videos, particularly on areas that people don't see a lot, would be really useful. So dance classes and music studios particularly, and seeing some, even if they're just a quick panorama around at least, because I don't know how long this is going to be. You seem like you've got an awful lot to fit in a small...
Well, we had our basic outline for the length is about 10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes
It was supposed to be split up into like 2-minute sections of each department, and then connect them all together after.
And like weave them together within.
Okay. And what do you have as those sections?
We had there was the music department, which
With performing arts, we had photography, we had media, we also have, I think it was creative media, I think also falls under. I think there also was... We
had the art department, which was, that included the photography, textiles, art, and those areas.
So I think that's what I'm trying to get at, is that there's certain areas and then there's sub-departments within all of that. And so within performing arts, that you've got two from performing arts here, we've got dance, we've got acting, we've got musical theatre, and we've got technical theatre. So there's 4 strands within all of that. Within music there's 2, there's music and there's music technology. Within art and design we've got graphics, you've got photography, you've got art and design, you've got textiles and fashion. And then in media we've got media. So all of a sudden that 12 minutes is all of a sudden could be divided up into lesser time. So I think you just need to, although you've said it's 2 minutes per department, you might just need to do a bit of a kind of family tree of it all, really, to make sure that we're getting a snippet of everything in all of that.
Yeah, I think whilst we want to show off the area, we also want to show the best bits of the area too. So I think when you look at it as a structure form, rather than saying it's 2 minutes on this, 2 minutes on that, 2 minutes on another section, actually one area might not need 2 minutes, and it's making sure that you're getting the most important bits of each department, and however that kind of then forms together would be, I would see as being stronger than just 2 minutes on an area there's not so much to show. I'm not
if
saying
there's not 10 minutes worth of content, then
no,
it
exactly.
might be 2 minutes,
I think that's the question that I've got, is what is your overall narrative? What is it you're trying to achieve creatively? It's great to interview the staff and show the facilities, but that's what all videos do. What is it unique about your film? I don't need to answer that now, but just something for you to think about. Like when I hear the word art and design, I think creativity. When I hear media, I hear ambition. Are there any kind of concepts that you can represent in an abstract form, just to make it a little bit more innovative and creative and stand out, rather than 2 minutes of interview space. I'm not saying that that's how your film's going to be, but how is your film going to be unique, and also how are you going to keep us engaged for those whole 10 minutes? If it is going to be 10 minutes, I think that's something that you could possibly reconsider, because you can capture a real powerful message and promote something really well in just 30 seconds if you've got the right sound bites and the right shots. An image of an art student creating something and speaks 1,000 words. So I'm not saying cut down, I'm not saying change, I just want you to consider what is it you're doing that's making this film unique and stand out and original, and something that people are going to want to watch and enjoy watching. Yeah? Okay?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Is that
because
it?
if I was like a prospective dance student, for example, and it's 12-minute long, but the dance section of it's not until minute 10 and minute 12, I'm probably going to have switched off and not going to have. So I think it's about capturing what the aim of the whole video is from the outset.
Because you haven't been commissioned to do 12 courses, you've been commissioned to make a film about the arts faculty, which is a creative, energetic, lively, ambitious thing. It's you've got these other courses like business and English and maths, and we're this creative, energetic thing that makes these fantastic stuff and allows students to be involved in these processes. So try and think more in terms of art as well, because at the moment it sounds like 12 separate films.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got one client, one thing
Yes.
that you're promoting.
I think that's part of, like some of the problems we've had is working out how to do it in that sense. Because of course, like you said, there are a lot of departments within what we're actually doing, and I think you're right. I think, we've been focusing too much on the individual rather than the group as a whole.
There's just so many within each department, so I didn't realise how many there was actually in these sub departments. So showcasing everything through, keeping the audience, probably like a little cycle that goes through, keeping everyone in the loop.
Yeah, I think what you've got at the minute with your title and then the college, and then it's very kind of, that's what you'd expect from a video. Can you come up with an alternative of that? And I don't know, I've got kind of a bit of a Doctor Who kind of thing going on in my head at the minute, but that you have an image of everything that's kind of in this kind of vortex of something.
Thinking about as you were
So all these images of different artwork, of dancers, of musicians, that it's all kind of swirled, like Lee was saying, of an image to begin with, that kind of builds, and then you see it, and then if you can get like aerial shot or some description that scoops it into the college and where it's at, then there's also like a theme around the college at the moment with the learning trees, or the thought trees. So there's one in student services, there's one outside D block. There's a tree there. I don't know whether that's kind of a little creative gem that you